March the 9th, 7 p.m. To order. Let's see, roll call.
Jessica Soul, Diane Griffin.
And we have two absent. We have public comments. Okay. Adopt the agenda. I make the motion to adopt.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, y'all moving right along.
We learned it.
Get it while you can. Minutes for approval, you have two sets, so you'll need two motions. Regular call meeting was February the 2nd, and you had a special call meeting on February the 17th. You have copies of those whenever you're ready.
I make a motion to approve the February 2nd and the February 17th.
All right.
Minutes.
We're gonna get a second to approve both of them?
I'll approve both February 2nd and February 17th.
Any discussion on that? No. All right. All right. All in favor? Okay. Bills to be paid, you got that, I think, in your packet.
And make a motion to pay the bills.
I second. Any questions?
All in favor?
That's
right. Y'all probably doing this right, like you says. Okay, the reports. Instead of me having to make announcements in the public comment, I'll just put the mayor's report here. From time to time, stuff comes up that you need to know. There's three things I'll talk about that we have going right now. We have an audit for 2024, and since the audit company was sold out and they're combined, they're dragging their feet a little bit. We need to get the 2024 audit done. We're probably already in violation of the new code on it, which means I'm in violation in about a week for 2025. So I'll be in Lucky this week and see what we can do to excite that a little bit. Because your 2024, we already have a written agreement. They've already started on it. It's been in review twice with the old bunch, now some review again with a new bunch. And it's already been paid for. So they're under contract, they've been paid for. So we'll deal with that before I report back to you, Council. Okay? On the No King Day, all the problems that popped up where you've got Trace Day going that day, Master Gardeners going that day, did they opt to move it, or are they still going to do it?
I did not get a chance to talk to Rebecca with the Historical Commission, but she was going to call and ask them to please move it over to the annex.
Well, the problem with that is that road is closed. That's where the Master Gardeners plant sale is, on that road. And it would help if someone would ask. That's already done deal.
But I mean, you can't stop them from the sidewalk.
I can't stop them.
You know,
Let them have it on the sidewalk. That's what I last time.
She was going to try to explain to them that them coming and doing it on that day was their biggest day. They will probably have less people appreciative of what they was doing than not, because that's the biggest day for the Historical Commission. Because it's their first one of the year. But to my understanding, some of the vendors had already told her that they weren't coming, because they didn't want to get in the middle of that.
Well, Master Gardeners already committed, they'll be there. They've already put their money down, they've already got the plants rolling, and they'll have their plants set wherever they're. Like I explained to them, their march is on the sidewalk, their signs are on the sidewalk. There'll be security there, make sure it's on the sidewalk.
Well, hopefully, since the organizers from the county, that maybe he have a little county pride and saying, okay, do it around the corner somewhere.
Are we having the emergency expo on that day still? No, okay.
All right, well, do you want to reach out to Rebecca or you want me to?
I can't.
I've got,
Actually, I will take a chance on my phone not going off, and I will text her now and just see if she's.
you can do that? Mine always goes off.
Well, no, I said take a chance. I know, take a chance if it's not going off. That's.
Actually, it's my sock. And I don't even have it, so that's even better. All right. Tourism. We had a person that was going to make a report and then kicked it over to me, so I'll make the report on tourism. We had about 29 people from the community come to the community center and basically briefed them on what the city did, how the city operated, and where we were as far as the master plan and where we were going. And then they divided it into groups, which, and we'll get feedback from those groups and see where we stand. And if there's some ideas out there that we haven't thought about. What ties all this together is our grant, which is for $300,000. It's the RCP, is that correct? Resilient Community Program. And basically, it's the core to our master plan because some of the outcome of that will be floodplain mapping, city mapping, GIS mapping, or utility systems, which will make it easier on everybody else. And then flood mitigation. And that sort of sets up our master plan. There's a lot more to a master plan. And they asked me for something in writing. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. All you got to do is listen to my grant report. My grant report, those different grants basically are infrastructure. And we have to build our infrastructure before we can do the fun things. Now we've gone ahead and started Visit Coldspring and tourism to get the word out. And I met with the chamber the other day, and we're all on the same sheet. We're all doing going where we need to go with this, and they're real supportive, and they've got some good ideas, and I've invited them to come with Jimmy's tourism meeting the next time they work. So sidewalk project, sewer project, RCP, which I just mentioned, and if you happen to come to the next council meeting, come at 6 o'clock, because they'll put on a program on where we are with what they're doing, and they'll be here for you to ask questions. And I'll try to get some of that through. But I think it's a good thing. It'll roll into a strategic plan behind the master plan, and it'll look very much as what we're doing right now, but it'll go further out. Okay? Because we've got to get more communication out. We've got to get feedback on what's going on. So far, the feedback on the sidewalks has been real positive. Now that we've got this the sewer going, there's been a lot of questions about that. And now I'm fixing to kick off the renovation of the park. So there'll be a lot more questions on that because a lot of people use it. The main thing would be, when can we start using it again? And the answer to that, probably 6 months to 9 months if everything goes right. There's a lot of things, trees have to come down. There's a lot of infrastructure as far as water and electrical that has to go in. And there will be lamps, I think 38 walking lamps out there which give you more light at night or in the evening. Anyway, that's the end of my report. We're going to jump over to the financials. And
Josh.
do you want me to do that first?
Please.
Okay, Josh. You're on board. What's the percentage?
So the average flow was 48,000 gallons at 24% capacity. The max flow was 63,000 gallons and it rained 2.75. inches, and all the stations, no issues, and Sanford, no issues.
I saw, when is our inspection coming up?
My guess, they're usually every 3 to 5 years, and we're on year 3. It could be the end of the year, because last time they did it, 23 in December, and so I'm assuming November, December this year. But I ain't gonna know until 2 weeks before. That's what I'll let you know.
Well, I saw we haul sludge and you do that, getting ready for that, and that helps with the plant. But you're saying 24%?
24% capacity.
All right, council, understand that whether we're running 24% or whether we're running 50%, the cost of running that sewer plant's the same. And that's why I'm pushing so hard to the sewer line to get new customers. The more customers we get, the closer we get to breaking even. And as we've talked about, we're in the service business, not the profit business, so the sewer rates are set to break even. So I think with this sewer line going in with additional customers, we get very close to it. Because later on in the agenda, we'll be moving some money to balance last year's budget, basically to help the sewer plant. Any questions for Josh? Hey Josh, good job. Good job.
And Travis.
Under finances, they're exactly the way they were. What we got? You got your sheet handy. That's what we're doing. No, that's it's a little short. So as we get up and come slap it on here,
You need yours?
no, you got the investment report there.
Yes.
Pass it. Keeping with the audit, one of the findings, so I'll say we'll look at it every month. Our savings account, which is actually our capital fund backup, is $1,129,337.67. Our rainy day fund, which is a CD, is $1,129,763.03. And then our tax pool, which is a higher interest for the state, is $257,470.62. Now, we do roll some of the interest out of the savings into the general fund income side. That's something that, this new line that y'all see in there, it's a revenue in. So the interest earned on that savings account rolls right into the revenue for operations. Questions on that? Thank you. Okay, real quick, off to a good start, general fund. Divide this up, we should be at about 63 or 16.7%. If you take a look at your income, you're already up to 29.9%, so you're off to a pretty good start. Your expenses are, for the first 2 months, are 15.3%, which is percent below the 16. So that's where you want to be. In other words, you're not jumping in front of the budget, even though our revenue is jumped in front of the budget. Questions on the general fund? It's looking good. Obviously, the good old sewer is next, and it's not doing too bad. We're looking for 16.7%, revenues in at 12.1%. And we're holding our expenditures to 22%. I'm surprised because we did the sludge pumping, which we needed to do early in the year, and it's working pretty good. So we'll just see how that rolls. As usual, I can predict we will be putting money from the general fund into the sewer at the end of the year, like we always have for the last 10 years that I know. Hotel motel, we got $250 in, which is about 17.4% of what we expected to get. The hotel motel now is dedicated to tourism, and we'll be overseeing that. You can't buy buildings with it, you can't buy equipment with it, but you can get the information out. Capital. We have made some capital expenditures over at the sewer plant. Whenever we put in the materials and leveled it, some of that hit in this year. And it's right now we're at 21% of the budget for its expenditures. We've got $320,000 in it. I'll be coming to you probably in the next 2 months, and you'll see some of this coming at you early. General land office, that's this line running out here. We're taking advantage while we're here of putting some road doors across the street to pick up the other side, upgrading the P-patch lift station to 3-phase, adding obviously have to go to a 3-phase generator now. The old generator will be put on wheels and be used to back up the single phase, this building, community center, wherever we need it. Those will come in after we get the tabs on the price on that, and we'll come in and amend this budget and bring some more money out of savings and prop this up and see where we go with this. We also have to do a road door at BZ because that old line collapsed. The good news is I convinced them to not do an amendment. We're funding it. You don't need to do an amendment. Leave our contract alone. And they agreed to do that, so we don't have to back up and rebid this thing again. Typically, when you're dealing with the government, you can get into those problem areas like that. But so far, everybody's working with us, so that's a good thing. And so you'll be seeing that over the next 2 months, and this will be the one, the capital project will be the one that we amend, move some more money in. I'm gonna be optimistic. With the way we're putting this line in, it's moving a lot quicker than it's ever moved before. We're doing direct boring, we're not doing open trenching. And like Josh said, when we were talking about it, the actual pipe we put in the ground is stronger than the pipe you would put in open trenches. So the light is expanded, plus it's a shorter fix. Any questions on those?
Okay, when are we, can we move forward on the building? So,
no, and we're holding until the middle of the year. That will be on here also. That's going to be a 2-year. The last 6 months we'll do what we can, and the next 6 months into the new year we'll finish it. But we'll have to pour the slab, and then we'll buy the kit and get it in the record. So chances are we'll get the slab out of this year's budget. And we already have one estimate, but we're probably going to get a couple more. Any other questions? Okay. Let's see. Community center, rocking along pretty good. It's not falling down. Back is working great. Dr. Minnesponte had her meeting over there. It was really nice. I know that Amanda's stayed on track as far as keeping it rented. So we'll just keep our fingers crossed and hopefully it holds up. I think we've got one oven that's supposed to be fixed. We're going to see. Okay. Other than that, all the equipment's working, AC's working, and the roof's not leaking. That's a good thing. Coldspring Volunteer Fire Department, Michelle.
For the month of February, we had 26 emergency incidents, 1 structure fire, 8 wildland grass fire, 1 trash fire, 2 smoke investigations, 1 motor vehicle, 1 vehicle fire, 3 EMS assist or landing zones, 3 fire alarms, false alarms, 2 public service calls, 2 disregard calls, and 2 medical calls. For training last month, we did a real world scenario familiarity with and drills training. We went over how to check trucks properly, and our members attended Livingston Fire School. 2 members completed the ICS 400 course, 1 member completed an extrication class, and 5 members completed the basic ground cover. 1 member also did test out for the National Registry for their EMR, to adding 1 more person on our medical FRO. Upcoming training is stop the bleed and extrication. Countywide training still has not been scheduled. Station improvements, we had to do an emergency repair on the back building, and that's been completed. Emergency Service District, we have no updates. The First Responders of the Future Club, we did meet with Dr. Tartan and Dr. Clammer about the firefighter 1 and 2 class for next school year. We're waiting for the results of the student survey to see how we are going to proceed. Administrative updates, we're almost finished purchasing everything from the $25,000 equipment grant we received, and we also were just awarded a $10,000 grant for training. I'll let
And we repaired the old building in the back.
Yes, and it's
The roof is in good shape. We had some strong winds, some of the metal walls. Michelle was concerned about the heliport and the wind for the landing, so we jumped on that right away and got that taken care of. Okay, capital projects, the ones that I haven't mentioned, but of course, community center. This has been an ongoing project with seek funding. I've got 2 sources. We just put in for a $2.5 million fund from our congressman. The problem with these things is they take a while. We just did the application. It will not be released until 27. So in the meantime, we talked with Temple. Some of their people helped us, pointed us towards the U.S. Department of Ag, core low interest loan. So we'll be looking at that. I'm sort of going to hold off, and we've got some real good numbers on the $2.5 million for the community center. That includes parking, additional parking, and purchase of some other property next to it. So I'm going to kind of wait and see. As long as the building's doing its thing, we're going to stay with it and keep it in good shape. And then we'll go from there. I do have a design build firm looking at it for me, and I'm going to give you a rough number on what they think with the preliminary design that we have of it. So I'm pretty confident about that. Fire department, I'm putting in for $1.5 million to $2 million of disaster recovery money for that. Basically, we will tear down the building in the back and rebuild it, assuming that the slab checks out. If not, we'll pour a new slab. The building in the front, we'll modernize it, clean it up, and it'll be a training center for all volunteer fire departments to use. Assuming that the EMS is still in contract with us, they'll still have their same old area there. We're just going to dress it up a little bit, clean the front of the building up a little bit, some fresh metal on it. Fortunately, we've got a good roof on that. We just put it on not too long ago after the hurricane. Textile sidewalks, you can look across the street, they're moving right along. I had a meeting with our safety people about a week ago about making sure there's some delineators down to keep the shoulder and the sidewalk traffic kind of visible and separate, and they agreed to work with me on that. They also told me that they were working on adding another 2 foot to it. We'll wait and see. It will end at the Exxon station. The second grant that we just got will pick up probably in mid-27 or 28, and take the sidewalks down to Jackson Street, and then down in front of the sheriff's office, across to the annex and down from the Shell station all the way to the low and moderate income housing apartments, and provide a sidewalk for people to walk into town or walk to the Dollar General or whatever, and they don't have to walk on the shoulder of the road. Now, TxDOT is up the ante on that. They said because we have the Blue Bonnet bicycle trail down 156 and through town, they want a bicycle lane. I said, you can put whatever you want as long as you can pay for it. They said, we can't. So I'm giving them another 8 foot right of way, because the right of way on Jackson and in front of the sheriff's office is 80 foot wide. So you'll see a bike lane with that from the Exxon out towards 150 East, and they'll go from there. TxDOT does the engineering, does the bidding, does the construction. We sign off on the design. We don't pay a dime. This is a fantastic opportunity, and TxDOT and U.S. Department of Ag have been good to us, this community, and I have the third one that comes from the junior high into the Exxon that we're filing for this year. This one is a $3 million project. I don't know how they got the numbers, but that's what it is. The second one is a 2.8. Jody, is that about right? Yes. And then the one for the junior high is about $3 million. But it doesn't, yeah, it's probably going to have a bike lane on it. We'll see. But that's all on them, and they're really good to work with. Of course, I have to go be part of their think tank when they have it, and they bring, and there's other opportunities down the road for us to partner with TxDOT. So we've got a real good relationship on that. The Department of Ag is what I call Faulkner. We had 200,000 left. They wanted to sweep it. We said, no, we want to extend the line. We had to rebid the 200,000. We're getting our contractor lined up. So we're going to extend the line down Faulkner about 900 foot further than it would have been, and make sewer accessible to 2973 all the way over to, I guess, what they call Slade. Okay. If you really want to know anything about this, Jody's the person. I mean, she works tirelessly and has more files than I know what to do with it, and does not let me take anything that's original home. I can only take copies, right?
Yes.
Because I tend to lose things or misplace them. But anyway, that's coming along. That'll be a new project. Hopefully this bid out, and we're going within 60 days to finish that one up. The mid-bog, we've already talked about it, beat that dead horse. That's the 2025 line. I think it's going to pick up and move here pretty quick. We've got everything laid out. We're waiting on the lift station. It's a precast lift station. It's about 9 foot tall. When it gets here, we'll dig the hole through the ground. And from there on, you can shoot your elevations and move the sewer like you need to move it. The TxDOT Parks and Wildlife grant is this one back here. We've got one bid on removal of the trees. We'll probably have another one tomorrow, and then a third one by the end of the week, and then we'll start removing about 38 sweet gum trees that are in the walking trail and their stumps. We'll come back and dig the trench and do the infrastructure to put water and electricity through those lanes. City Hall, we had the design on the expansion of the municipal court, and had a chance to sit down with the judge before the meeting, and I told her we're probably going to use this as the municipal court until we do that back there. That one's on, it's what's called shelf ready according to the GLO, and it will come after we finish the public works building out of the sewer plant. Let's see. And we just talked about the public works building. Okay, I'm going to turn this over to our council. Dee, you got anything to add?
Well, I was going to tell the council, I gave the mayor an updated version of the interlocal agreement with the county dealing with animal control.
I think we got it here.
Yeah, I said it, and she said she's gonna print it up for you.
Yeah, when we get down there and talk to it on the agenda, I'll talk to the hiccup that we had and why we're doing that.
And then since the election's over, I'm back to my normal chaotic life. So I'm going to be giving you the gaming ordinance and then the updated nuisance ordinance that we wanted to do about the cleaning up and the burning of the asbestos stuff.
I'll be sending you my thoughts on permitting that we want to move to. I've looked at Polk County, I've looked at Luckins. It's got a little bit more whistles and bells to it. They seem to tie, the big thing they tie to is when a developer comes in, they have to get a permit for a culvert. And that brings into all sorts of stuff, especially on flood mitigation that you want to look at. And it works real well for them. So that may be something besides the commercial permit, the residential permit, and the commercial burning, which is called a permit, but we probably, based on EPA and everything else, as close as we are and as tight of communities we are, we'll probably move to not allow burning of debris on a commercial tract or burning of a house that's been torn down, 60 years old. They'll have to take it down and haul it and put it in a site that will take it. It's too dangerous. We've gone through this twice with the junior high school on the burning of a structure that had a bunch of plastic and carpet and stuff like that. We went through it over on Miss Lottie's house. There's a lot of property that's going to be developed that people bought and are holding. So we want to make sure we have that flexibility and make sure that we don't have a debris pile burning for a week or 10 days. And because it rained on it and it's just sending smoke out, the smoke gets in return vents on houses and gets in your air conditioning and heating. But anyway, that's something and I guess, so the council will know, do you go with the ordinance on that? Or is it just a resolution that we're...
I'd rather see an ordinance and then make it tie into the permit.
All right.
And that way, if they don't come get the permit, then they would be in violation of something, and you got some teeth.
That's why you're here.
Yeah.
So, you guys will understand that first we'll be doing an ordinance, and of course we're going to do the draft and have everything that we're looking for first. We will tie, I want to tie the fire code in to this. We just, the game room that turned out not to be a game room, and then the complaint from the owner that the neighbor was overusing the breakers or the 200 amp service for that part of the building. Gave me no choice but to ask them to go do an inspection. And they did an inspection, and guess what? That business is not overseeing the 200 amps. Okay? So, I don't know, but that opened a whole new can of worms, because now there's a grease trap problem. But we've already got ordinance to deal with that, we'll deal with it.
Well, I believe as more and more word gets out, since this Fort Worth case got basically upheld, more and more rates and arrests are being made with these game rooms, to where there may not be anybody wanting to even think about putting game rooms.
After the one in Hitchcock, I don't think they're going to want to.
Yeah.
And I sent those to you and to council, and that may be why this character decided that maybe he didn't want to put a 38 slot machine game room
Right.
in a shopping center.
Right.
but whatever.
And the final thing I was gonna say is, since I did win the election, I'm gonna start coming up with a list of possible replacements for me down the line. I mean, we should have several months before we have to do.
Well, we're not flooding with stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean,
You're not campaigning anymore.
I'm making a list of things that I promised you I'd get done, so that's,
I'm joking.
yeah,
But we're
that's all
glad
I
to
see.
see you. We just appreciate you and appreciate the help you've been to us, and we will have a good relationship even without you.
Well, I'm not gonna abandon you, so, I mean,
Was there anything else
No, sir.
you want to talk about till we get down to where we're getting down to?
so that was it.
Let's see. Discussion possible action on San Jacinto County. Hold it. Amanda doesn't want to talk anymore.
I only have just one adjustment for deposit refund after I applied to the balance on their account. And then I had 4 cutoffs for non-payment, and only one of them has made it, and then I'm locked. So.
You're still locked.
I mean, you're on top of it, that's what we needed. It's come way down since we took over, so that's great. Any questions for Amanda?
Good job.
All right, I think I'm where I need to be now. Discussion and possible action on San Jacinto County Master Garden Memo of Understanding to relocate the demonstration garden from the Coldspring Community Center to City Park number 2, which is this one back here. Boy, they got a good wish list. I told someone that I don't think so, but I think we can work this out. And so I asked for the original memo of understanding with the community center directors whenever they got the garden over at the community center. That's the one that we're relocating here. And I'm giving them more property back here to do all kinds of demonstration gardens. And eventually, when funds are available, we have restrooms, not a restaurant. There'll be a big chapel back there, I'm gonna put them in a work area.
It works the crowd up.
I got another good one, but I'm not gonna talk about that one, I'm saving it for later. Anyway, I will draft this out, send it to the powers that be over to Master Gardeners, include some of the things they want, and there's some of the things that it just won't it just won't work. That's why I want to look at their memo of understanding with the board of directors of the community center, because basically, that's what we're doing. They're losing that site, we're going to this site, and we're going to help them move those plants here, but we're going to give them a lot more. They want a greenhouse, we might be able to get them a greenhouse down the road. There's lots of money out there for small projects like that, I'm finding out. And there'll be various, this will be their home, there'll be various types of demonstration gardens, including the junior master gardeners out there, so I think that's a good thing. Any questions on that? It'll be coming up, so this will be under our business where it is. As soon as I get that MOU and send it over to them. Greg, I haven't sent you the packet on the library on what they were looking for. So you're fixing to get ready to leave, so hang around. And I promised them that you would look at why they think they need a contract, and I know why I think they don't need one, because they're in the budget and they have a resolution, but that might not meet the needs of their sponsor. They may have to have some type of MOU contract or something. So I'm gonna give you all those documents, if you can take a look at them and then holler back at me, and I'll get with them and tell them what we can do, okay? Okay, this is one that Greg has worked on for us. We brokered a deal, and this is the deal, discussion and possible action on approving resolution number 2026-03 a resolution acknowledging the dedication of a permanent easement by Johnny Berger for the purpose of construction a sewer lift station on the easement property and granting one sewer tap and $5,000 to Mr. Berger in consideration on dedicating a permanent easement along with granting a temporary easement across the property during construction of the lift station. Originally, we had agreed to give Mr. Berger 2 taps. One tap being to his house, which he got way ahead of us and built it. And that line was 1,400 foot from our lift station. So it was kind of expensive, estimated about 10 grand. Mr. Berger's agreed. Okay, forget that. But I'd like to have $5,000. So we're coming out ahead of the game on this. I think he's being real fair with us, and council did a great job on working with him and his attorney. And in fact, to the point that he's allowing our contractor to use that as a point like an outdoor office. And when you do these grants, you have all these federal laws that have to be posted out in the open. And so if you go down there and look, you'll see all of our supplies, all of our piping, our manholes. He's been real fair. He's moved a bunch of stuff, and I think this is a good deal. This will settle it. There's no hard feelings. We listened to him, he listened to us, and then we turned it over to the attorneys, and they came back with this. And this is the first thing Greg told me. He says, "Well, you're not gonna like this." He told me, I said, "I like this," because I darn sure don't want to run a line through all of the equipment for 1,400 foot. Then to keep our commitment, I would have done that, even though he wouldn't hook to it because he's already got a sewer system. So, in lieu, since he funded his own sewer system, we agreed to the 5,000. I guess I'll shut up at that point and ask for any comments on this. And if you don't want to do a comment, then make a motion.
I'll make a motion.
You accept? All right.
I second.
All in favor?
Please note that all council members have to sign this.
Yeah, I just noticed, we all have to sign this.
That all that are present or all council?
It can be all just present.
All right.
Because that's what we want to do is in the future, because y'all may not be here to do that tap.
Oh,
And that way, it's shown that the council signed off on it, instead of just the mayor.
I'm not going to read the resolution, but what I put in there to protect Mr. Berger was there is no termination on this offer. It stands, which means anyone that comes behind us has to honor this. When it comes time for him to ask for his free tap to the office, which is a stone's throw away from it, and I've already gone and set a tap for it. So we're good to go. It's going to get done. If I didn't put that in there, then the council down the road, 10 years or 5 years or 3 years down the road, may say, no, we don't want to do this, and he's not protected. So I felt like Greg and I discussed it, that's a good thing.
And that's why we put for a DocuSign, so down the line, there would be no question. Yeah, there's the council that did that, not just the mayor.
Whenever I or Greg carries me a $5,000 check and the resolution, he's also going to get a copy of the minutes. And I'm going to suggest to him that he put that in this lockbox somewhere. And it's transferable. If he sells the place, whoever buys it gets the tab.
we'll be signing this tonight.
Yeah, if you don't mind, since
Jody,
Jessica and Kyle aren't here.
No,
come around here.
we're all good about it.
Yeah, you've got a majority here. One's of the president, okay? Did we get a vote on it? Everybody vote for it here?
Yes.
All
I
right.
think so.
Good, we're done.
Yeah, we're done on that.
Okay, now, I set up the animal shelter MOU on, discussion of possible action to amend, the 2026, general fund budget to include a line item for the San Jacinto County Animal Shelter and, for the amount of $10,000 in that line item. And we're removing it from our contingency fund that's already in the budget. So you're amending the budget and putting a line item in for the animal shelter. The question is, maybe that's the wrong word because they're non-profit. Maybe it should be for the sheriff's department.
Or say for the interlocal agreement with the San Jacinto County.
Okay, it's with the county.
Is that how we said that last time?
We've gone round and around, or I have. I just said, no, I'm not moving that money into the general fund. I want the sheriff's department, through the sheriff's department and the animal shelter to get the benefit of that. They've already asked me to help them buy a deep freeze. But to do that, I buy it for the sheriff's department and give it to them, and they give it to the nonprofit. And we do all the buying. They tell us what they need, up to $10,000.
You're spending money, city money has to be for some type of benefit or purpose for citizens.
And that's where you're.
And so that's why I was not wanting you to give it directly to the shelter, which is out there, without them doing something for the city.
Right, originally, we had that we could use their enforcement officer and they would do animal control in the city.
Right. But they're not doing that at the moment.
Yeah.
But that's what this interlocal contract that I have written says to do.
Unknown to me, the sheriff's department drew up an interlocal agreement, or someone did for them. It went in front of the commissioners and got approved. And I'd never seen it. You had never seen it.
I understand, and until they finally gave it to you, I couldn't understand why Judge Faulkner was discussing it with me the way that he was discussing it. Like, what are you doing? and I'm thinking he saw what I had.
Well, I'm thinking.
And I said, well, what's wrong with it? And he says, well, you just can't do that. I said, we most certainly can.
You still haven't seen one. Anyway, they had a meeting with me and pulled it out and said, here, you need to sign this, and I read it. I said, no, I'm not signing this. I'm giving it to council, they're gonna look at it. This is not what we agreed to. There's no benefit to the city. There's no, it's all one way. It goes the other way, and plus I can't give money to a nonprofit unless we designate it, and we haven't designated it, and we're not. So, memo of understanding is the new one. It's in the packet.
I have a question on this.
This is the new one?
It should be interlocal.
Yes, okay.
My question is, on your report, it says the city agrees to timely pay the county upon receipt of a monthly invoice.
That was the agreement that it was not going to be given to the county $10,000
So
up front.
it won't be like they tell them what they need and they go make a purchase, then we reimburse. This will
No,
be
we're not
like
doing that.
No, it would be divided out. In the way I was envisioning it, they would divide 10,000 out by 12 months.
and then send me an invoice. Okay.
Because if all of a sudden they refuse or for whatever reason don't do animal control.
Right. So the point I made, the example that we're using right now is they call me, well, we need a deep freeze, we've got all this free food coming in and it needs to be cooled. And I said, well, you need to call Jolly and have him call call me and then tell Jolly what decrease you need and where you found it for this amount. And that's when everything went haywire, okay, because of the two different memos. This is typically the way we do it with the three that we do support. If they need the fire truck all changed, they'll call us and tell us where they're having it done and how much. Then that vendor will bill us for it, and we pay that vendor. And that works good.
And that fire truck services people with the city of Coldspring.
One of the three. Another example is senior citizens is the second one of the three that we designate in our resolution that benefit the citizens of Coldspring. They need the fire suppression system because they had grease. And we were able to do that out of their funds. And that vendor came in, gave them the estimate, gave them a good break on it, installed it, billed us, we paid for it, and they got it. That's the way that works. The one we're having trouble with right now is not really trouble. We're having to work out is the library. Okay? In the past, they would come in because they needed the money and get the 25 grand, and that would help them with their association. We said this year, no, we're going to do all three the same way. So far, the auditors hadn't said you can't do that. As long as we're within the budget, it's in the budget, and there's a resolution showing the benefits that are derived from the citizens from the library, which is quite obvious. So we're working on that one right now and trying to do them all the same, so it's a little bit easier on the audits. Okay. And
even y'all approved that interlocal agreement tonight, the mayor's going to present it to the sheriff's department again, and they may want to change it. You know, they may just want to just say, no invoice, just give us the money each month. You know, and not have it.
But they're running a risk of that, because that money, and I talked to the judge about this, will go in the general fund.
Yeah.
Okay? There's no strings attached to it for it actually be spent on the animal control. That was the whole reason for trying to work something out where they would get the benefit. This would be like a rainy day fund that they could go to if they needed more food, if they needed more crates or whatever. So, if they approve it, I will sign it, carry it to the judge.
I'm just saying they may want to have something or take something out.
Which they may want to kick it back, but they may not want to sign it. The commissioners may not sign it. I will change what I said. I will take it to the Jolly and to Sam. And if they need me to, I'll go with them to the commissioner court meeting. I prefer not to. That's their document. And I don't want to get into the break.
Right now, our agenda just says we're ready to move the money. We did not put on there.
Is there another one down further?
No, sir.
But it doesn't? Okay, well, let's roll.
That will have to be on April. What you need to
Well, I can carry the draft
Right.
to them, have them
is
go
the
over.
movement of the money.
And let's do the wordsmithing and get it back to you.
And there'd be nothing wrong about moving money.
Yeah.
You're not spending the check.
We're creating a line item,
On the budget.
on the budget. And how's it worded? What do you call it?
We're taking $10,000 from the contingency fund and put it for the animal control interlocal agreement.
Okay. We want to keep that interlocal agreement. Is that why?
Yes.
So the motion would be as stated by Joe.
Okay, moving the money. I make the motion.
So you're actually amending the budget and putting a new line item in it. You already have the money and you're transferring the money out of contingency into that new. Clear?
Clear.
Everybody? Questions?
Okay.
Got a motion? Need a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? All right. We'll straighten out the budget. I'll move the draft over to Sam and Jolly, and let the commissioners do their magic on it. New business. Okay, discussion of possible action on issuing a proclamation declaring the month of March as Red Cross month. I want to talk. I'll let you if you want to, and then we'll read this into it.
Yeah, so one of the things that we've been doing, and I don't know if anybody knows what that Red Cross month is, but the Red Cross was founded in the month of March. And throughout different counties, different cities, the month of March is dedicated a Red Cross month. And this is to bring awareness to the community of what we do to the community, the different programs that we can do, how we help the communities, how we benefit being here. We are very, very happy and excited that the relationship that we have been building with the fire department through Michelle and through the emergency management offices, and the amount of people that we've been able to assist out here. And also supporting the different agencies. There's different programs that we do. One of them is when the fire department is going to be on scene, and it's going to be there for certain amount of time. They call us and we support them with coffee and food and different things too. And our goal is to keep them focused on what they're doing and be able for us to take that away from them and for them to handle the situation a little faster. And not only that, but then all the other programs. So. When we received this, Kimberly Clark, she is our, the person that handles all this. She's on vacation and called me this morning and said, hey, can you come up there and see what we can do? But we are honored that you guys are considering this, and we would love to see what we can do.
Well, we recognize y'all for your hard work last year. It's not a problem. We can recognize it every year. I prefer to do that. Once we issue this, we'll post it on the electronic sign out side for the month of March, recognizing your hard work and your dedication to what you do.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, let me see if I can get through this with my sinus. American Red Cross month is March in 2026, the proclamation. This March we celebrate American Red Cross month by recognizing the compassionate acts of the people in Coldspring, Texas, and by renewing our commitment to lend and help hands to our neighbors in need. Since Clara Wharton, founder of the American Red Cross more than 140 years ago, generation after generation has stepped up to deliver relief and care across our country and around the world, bringing out the best of humanity in times of crisis. Advancing this noble mission, the volunteers and supporters who now give back through the Southeast Deep East chapter remain unwavering in their commitment to prevent and alleviate human suffering in the face of today's emergencies. Their voluntary and generous contributions shine as a beacon of hope in people's dark hours, whether it's delivering shelter, food, or comfort during disasters, providing critical blood donations for hospitals and patients, supporting service members, veterans and their families, saving lives with first aid, CPR, AED, and other skills, or delivering international aid and reconnecting with loved ones separated by a global crisis. This work is uplifting our community, is truly makes possible by those who selfishly answer the call to help whenever and wherever it's needed. We hereby recognize the month of March in honor of their remarkable service, and we ask to care for one another. Now, therefore, I, John Benestante, Mayor of the City of Cold Spring, by virtue of authority vested in me by law of the City of Cold Spring, I here proclaim March 2026 as Red Cross Month. I encourage all citizens of the city to reach out and support its humanitarian mission. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Get this signed. Jody, put our seal on it. If y'all need a copy of it, we'll All right. And we'll see you next year.
We're gonna pass we vote on it.
Yeah, somebody jump up. Y'all wanna go home? It's 8 o'clock. I need a motion to pass the part.
I make a motion to pass the American Red Cross Month.
All right.
I second the motion.
All in favor? Aye. Let's do this. Let's make sure we put down for next March, we'll do this again, okay? We'll just keep this a tradition. How's that sound?
Thank you.
All right. Glad I got helpers. Okay. Discussion possible action, City Ordinance 2026-02 on the abandonment of a right-of-way being 0.248 acres of land located in the Robert Rankin Survey, abstract 42, San Jacinto County, Texas, and being all of what is known as Texas Street or the Faulkner Park Place Edition. We will normally not vacate a right-of-way if it's needed for our utilities. However, if it's a piece of property out in the middle of nowhere that has no meaning whatsoever, and the owners of each side approach us, we will consider vacating. We've done that before. And typically, we will split that right away between the two owners. There's a lot on each side of this street that goes to nowhere. Park Place was another name, and when Mr. James Faulkner did this, it sort of got platted over into another plat. So now we've got a little strip between these two lots that just is a lot. It just holds the subdivision together. It has no purpose for us. All the sewer comes from the front. So I asked the owner, I said, well, the owner of the other side, he says, I am the owner of the other side. That's the problem. I own both lots. I said, well, here's the way we do this. If the council agrees, first off, you have to go pay to get it surveyed with the owners. Second, we can draft our ordinance with your field notes and with a copy of the plan. And if they choose to do that, then you have to take that to the courthouse, record it, go to the appraisal district and put it on the tax roll, because it's off the tax roll right now. And then come back to us and we're done. So we're only dealing with one person. He owns both sides. He's asking us to vacate this and deed it to him. And I see no reason why not to. I'll leave the floor to you guys.
So it's really no interest to us.
Absolutely none, because all our sewer comes off the highway. And on the other side, it comes from the other side, off Faulkner Drive or Avenue.
I'll make a motion to move forward on it.
Let's do this. Let's make a motion to pass this ordinance on abandoning a right-of-way pending the review of council. Craig has been so busy and he hasn't seen this yet.
I mean, it's similar to what we did with.
I took the old vacate, I gave it to Jody, I said, you've got a lot of meets and bounds in here, and they gotta be perfect.
Yeah.
And she did it, I looked at it, and it's all okay, if it's okay with you. I used the template where we've done it before,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah.
Well, on this one, you just try to make one person happy. It's not a matter.
Well, I've got one where three people,
Yeah.
are not happy, and we're not doing that because we need it for a sewer line.
Right, but as long as that's one person, he owns all the way around.
Yeah, he owns both sides. So, we got a motion.
To go to council with it? Or pass pending?
Pass pending review of council.
All right, make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If you hold up afterwards, I'll give you this. Okay, these will be quick, so y'all get your voting cards out. Discussion and possible action on authorizing the certification of unopposed candidates for other political subdivisions for the election scheduled on May the 2nd. In other words, the three of us that were running, we didn't have anybody oppose us. So you're authorizing certification of that.
I make a motion that we authorize certification of unopposed.
I second.
All in favor? Oh, going right down to the next one. Discussion of possible action on authorizing the cancellation of the election schedule will be held on May the 2nd, 2026, in accordance with section 2.053A of the Texas Election Code. The benefit of that is, since we didn't have to have an election and we pay the county and we don't owe the county and there's no ballots or whatever, okay?
This gets posted at all of the voting locations in Sampson County, or in precinct 1.
Just a
We send it to the election office in the county, and then we put it in the newspaper.
Okay. Well, I make the motion that we go forth with this.
You're authorizing us to cancel the election
Yes.
due to the one in front of us.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving right along. Okay, discussion and possible action on interlocal agreement between the city of Coldspring and the San Jacinto County Emergency Service District. And we're not going to discuss or make any action pending legal review. Okay?
Okay.
So far we sent council's redraft of the agreement to them, and there's been no response. Okay? So we're just gonna set here. And you and I will talk at the end of the month. We may want to send a letter over to them asking them for help. Okay?
Okay.
You with me on that? No action. It's pending legal review. Discussion of possible action on accepting the line item adjustment made by Julie Gilmore CPA to balance our general fund and sewer account. Julie comes in once a month. She's our outside review. Besides our auditors, we have a certified accountant that works for us, gives us advice what we're you want to go through the line item for me, Shelley?
She basically, for the general fund and the sewer fund accounts, made adjustments to where none of them are out of balance from, like, say if we had excess in others and we had deficiencies, they're all balanced now through her adjustments.
And this next one, discussion of possible action on amending the 2025 capital fund account to use excess funds remain to bring the sewer account into balance. So
Right.
as far, I don't know that, I guess we can go through the motions and make a motion and accept F, saying that we'll rely on Julie to make this change, and then actually make the change in, oh yeah. I caught this and didn't. You got F on the first one, and you got F on the second one. So, really makes no difference. So, you just make a motion, moving the capital funds account money, to bring the sewer fund into balance. The excess capital fund investment taken from the city savings account will be transferred to the sewer account. Okay. And that's 2025, right?
Yes.
All right. Is that clear as mud?
I can't repeat it, can you?
I make a motion to accept amendment of the 2025 capital fund account.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Somebody prompt me.
Wait a minute. The mayor.
The mayor can't do that.
So I make a motion to
I said
accept.
a motion for her to make.
Yeah, sorry. I meant to say I accept that Julie did and say
As presented.
as presented.
There you go.
There you go.
That's 9 o'clock few days ago.
Yeah, I think it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it went back to 9 o'clock few days.
Okay, we seconded the.
Nobody is.
I'll second.
Yeah,
I thought you did.
Oh, she did. Well, yeah. All right, let's vote.
All in favor?
All in favor, aye.
Very good. I'm gonna let the mayor call. Okay, briefing on public event application by the Harvest Ridge International Christian Motorcycle Rally event in May of 2026. And I'm gonna say that's pending. I just wanted to let you know we're trying to get all our ducks in a row. They want a crosswalk because they have some events going on in the shelter. And I'll let them work that out, and we'll work it out with next audit. And there's other things, we're waiting on their insurance, is that correct?
Yes, we're waiting on your insurance for them to get with the fire department and the sheriff's office.
Have you heard?
So they sent their emergency event plan. I haven't reviewed it yet. They have added a lot to what they previously done, so I'm still adding that a little bit.
A lot of this depends on the sheriff's department, because basically they're wanting a control crossing to get over from the courthouse over to the shelter. So,
Why? They're asking to shut down one district.
yeah, they're wanting to shut down one issue with control crossing, which means you'll have to have a detour just for that crossing. It's not like a fairway where you shut the whole thing down for X amount of time. I don't know that TxDOT will approve it. That's why I told Jody, we just put this on here to let you know, say it's pending.
For May.
May 16th.
May 16th. Does it start on the 15th, 15th and 16th?
Well, they have some event, but it doesn't have to,
It's not shutting, it's
involve any
just
shutting.
16th.
Yeah. On the 15th, I think the night of the 15th, but the 16th is when they want to close one district.
The reason being is that the concerts will be inside the shelters rather than open air concert like last time, which was a real problem.
It's going to be inside.
But let's let the people that have control handle that. Let's just let this pin and let them work through it, work with emergency management, sheriff's department, whatever, and come back to us and we'll work with TxDOT. I don't know if they're gonna be happy before y'all jump up and make a motion to adjourn. Our next meeting is on April 6th. We'll do a presentation from our grant people on the RCP Resilient Community program that we've been working on. It has to do with no, it has to do with GIS, floodplain, street mapping. It's part of our study. that we're doing. It will go in with tourism, with some of the things they're working on. Ultimately, we'll have a master plan when this comes out. For me, I'm excited about getting our sewer line GIS. It'll be easier on us when we're looking for something. So, they've asked to have a little town hall meeting on the 6th, and I'm gonna probably try to put it on the 6th for them.
Mayor, regarding the Christian motorcycle rally, when the only other time that we shut down 150 is for Christmas on the Square, and council has to pass a resolution
To go to the house.
to go to the highway department that you all agree that 150 could be closed before they will consider it. So that's something y'all are gonna.
I need to see the detail, I don't know about y'all, but I wanna see their plan and why what they want.
The map that they submitted me is not approvable by TxDOT from my experience getting.
They need to submit that.
And so I told them they're gonna have to send me a different one with it highlighted correctly.
Yeah. I wanna see the.
I'm kind of throwing this out there, there's a lot of reconsidering this that they're gonna do. Okay? So, in April, they better have it all together, okay?
Yeah, because.
That's what I told him, that y'all would be voting on it April 6th.
Deputy flag would be a lot easier.
Oh, what?
But deputy
Deputy.
flagging traffic would be a lot easier when someone wants to cross.
Yeah, but
Then shut down the whole highway.
yeah, we kind of want to see what they're really.
Well, they didn't have a good plan when we met with me, they just had a couple of spots on the map, so I turned them over to Jody, she got them straight. They've got a good heart. I think this is an improvement. I'd like to see them do it, but I don't know that we need a controlled crossing. I mean, I'll let the people in charge decide that. Anything else?
Nope. Adjourn? Make a
I'll
motion to
wait till
adjourn.
somebody jump up. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all for your time. Thank you all for coming. Thank you.